what's going on, man? So you ready to do this?
Yeah, man, I appreciate you taking the time out. I know it's late, you know.
Yeah, that's why I was like, come on, let's get it done.
I'm sorry about that.
Nah, it's all good. I should have called like about 8 o'clock because I was out with the family, but
yeah,
you know, let's see the end of this.
Yeah, we got about 10 questions for you. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Appreciate it. The first thing we want to know is, how originally did you meet with Devontae, and become part of the Basement Crew?
Well, that's a real long story, but I'll give you the short version.
All right.
Because it's late. But really, I've been, getting in talent shows and things of that nature. And when I heard Devontae, MC Hammer, and Boys and Men were coming down here, I, made it my business to go find where they were staying after the show and just make sure that I performed for them because I knew that, or perform for him because I knew that if he saw me, he would see, a star. I always had confidence in myself, and I knew if he saw me, he would be, and heard me, he would be like, this kid got something. So, I found him. I was in the hotel, got into the hotel, which is another long story, but I gave you a short version. But I got into the hotel, nevertheless, and I was able to find him when he was downstairs and like the ballroom or something where we're surrounded by girls and stuff. So I just was standing there and he kept looking and he just got up and came over to me and was like, "Are you singing something?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he was like, "Let me hear you sing." I was like, "Come on back over to the piano." So when we came back over to the piano, I started singing "Stay" on this song. And all the girls started screaming and stuff, so he grabbed me and he took me to meet his manager. And, he had told me that he was looking for groups and everything, and he's starting a new situation called Swing Mob, and he have some groups already with I found out with Missy and Timberland and all that stuff. So we that's pretty much how it actually happened. And then a couple months later after I met him, I moved up to New York with him, and that's where I met Timberland and Missy.
Okay, cool. And if you could, I know this is probably another long answer, but if you could just basically summarize or share an experience from that whole basement era or period, what stands out to you?
One of those memories would easily be with the night me and Static was riding Pony. He actually had the hook already written, and that was pretty much the song within itself. But once I heard that, I was like, "Oh man, I got to write on this too, man." So we started going line for line on the verse.
Okay.
So that's how it really that's how it really came about. I was like, "I'm just a bachelor." He said, "Looking for a partner." I said, "Someone," stuff like that. So it was like line for line, and that's the kind of thing we used to do up there.
Yeah.
And then so that was really one of the memories that we had, together. I missed Dude a lot, and I hope, that, along with me, we can keep his legacy going. I know I will always give him a shout out wherever I go.
Yeah, cool. Speaking of Pony, did you, when you first made the song with Stat, did you expect it to blow up like it did? What were you expecting?
Well, yeah, I knew if it got heard, then it would blow up. I mean, I didn't know how big, but I knew that it was a new sound. I knew I was a new face. I knew everything else that I brought to it. You know what I mean? It wasn't just me standing there singing. I was like, I know when they see me dance and they see, all the things that I'm bringing to it, it's gonna be bigger than what it, is right now. And I knew that. I actually had started practicing, moves and all that stuff around, when we actually did the song. And the song, by the time You Die Church was 3 years old. We did that, I think, in late 93, early 94.
Yeah.
So it was like 2 and a half years old by the time You guys heard it. So, yeah, I did know, but I didn't know how much. But I did know that it was a new sound, and Timberland was talented, and, we had something new. So I did know that for sure.
Yeah. All right, cool. And, just tell me a little bit what it was like working with Static.
Well, while I was working with Static, it was pretty easy. He always respected, me as an artist and let me do what I do. and I respected him as an artist and a writer, and I always allowed him to do what he does as far as being in the studio by himself and not pressing him, not bothering him, and he did the same thing to me. He knew I was a professional, and he didn't even need to be in there unless I called for him. You know, what I would do, he would go ahead and write the song and rough it, and then everybody would leave, and it would just be me and the engineer. I'd go do my part. Then he'd come back in and say, all right, gee, let's do this over again, and let's do that thing over again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's what we did, and we just respected each other, and that, I mean, you'll find that a lot. You got a lot of egos in the business now. When the dude ain't really had no ego.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And can you just share a memory with us of Stephen Ellis Garrett, the person? You know, not Static, but him as a person.
Well, me and Static used to always play video games together. We always had a competition thing going on with football and basketball. I mean, back in the days, I think he used Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember who I used, but he was always talking about Clyde Drexler and all that kind of stuff. So we actually had those tournaments in the house. And, you know, that's the kind of thing that I do remember from Static, you know, those kind of memories other than, you know, Static. But those kind of memories was really deep, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, really just the tournament games and just us having fun, going out to parties and just kicking it, meeting girls and all that kind of stuff up there. So, yeah.
Yeah. In your own words, you know, could you just quickly summarize what type of a person, you know, was he, the person?
First of all, he was a very talented person, and he was a person that was just really gifted beyond his years. He was way ahead of his time, and that's what made him so unique and made him, you know, blow up the way that he did. Because you know, he was like a diamond in the rough in the beginning. Because I still remember the days when he started writing. You know what I mean? When he started writing, he was, you know, just trying to learn and, you know, get his pen game going, and staying around Devontae and being around Missy and all that, and seeing the competition and wanting to beat the competition. He was really hungry, and he took his writing to another level, far beyond, you know, what I could do and a lot of other writers within a short amount of time. So he was definitely, you know, supposed to be a writer and a producer.
Yeah, cool. I mean, there's so many, you know, I like so many of the songs he worked on with you, but my personal favorite is definitely Same Old G. You know, just talk to me about working on that one, you know.
Well, you know what, honestly, after we made it, I'm not even going to lie, I hardly saw Static. You know what I'm saying? Really? It was really one of those things where once we all split up, and once we all kind of left Devontae, we really kind of split up. On Same Old G, Static wasn't even around. He had did it, and because we had, you know, respected other so much, he knew he didn't really have to be there. So whatever Reed pretty much did, he just did it and sent it to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I would go in the studio and it would be up and I'd just do it. So, I mean, I had seen him a couple times in passing, you know, but that was pretty much it. After just to be real, after we had left Devontae, and when they finally came out, we did a couple shows together, but really after that, I really never really hung with him, or, you know, I was watching from a distance, but, you know, I never really hung with him after that.
Yeah, okay. If I could just ask about one more song, and you know, yesterday was, you know, the anniversary of Aaliyah's passing, and I got to ask about Final Warning. I know Static was on there in the backgrounds too, so, you know, what was that, you know, tell me about that song.
Well, that was one of the times that I did see him. For a short amount of time, though. He came in, let me hear it, and jet it out.
Yeah.
That was just a song that we had to get Baby Girl on, and, you know, I just wanted to make sure that since I was a part of their family now and part of the Black Brown family at the time, I wanted to incorporate all Black Brown artists and all, you know, everything was Black Brown, you know what I'm saying? So, that memory was just a good memory. I still remember me and her just chilling in the studio a long time. It only took us really for about an hour and a half to do the song, but after we started talking and giggling and having fun and just chilling, you know, it took all night. But, you know, those are memories that I cherish, and I will always remember her and remember him.
Yeah. I mean, on Static Major's music, we also, represent Aaliyah a lot too, because her and Static are linked a lot as well. Can you just give us a brief memory of Aaliyah that you have from your time spent with her?
Well, that was one. That was one right there. Like that was one that really like stick out. Other than from show, but she took care of my truck for me one time when I was out in LA.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she let me go do what I needed to do, and she took care of my son. So those kind of memories. But again, once we started getting on the road and we started really doing our thing, really hardly saw each other. You know what I mean? We would text every once in a while, but that's why I said those memories are the memories that I totally cherish, because there wasn't that many. Although people always connected us, yeah, we would connect when we were doing videos and all that kind of stuff. But as far as actually hanging out, none of us really did that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You
know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Cool. And just about 2 questions left. I just want to ask you, can you tell us about what you're currently working on? Because we're, here at the blog, we're also big supporters of you as well. So we want to hear about you as well.
Absolutely, yeah. First of all, follow me on Ginuwine 09. You already follow me.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me why I still got Ginuwine 09. So there's some significant meaning, because that's when I started, and I'm not going to change it, because it really has sentimental meaning to me, and there's no need to change it. But I got the new CD coming out called Don't You. We're going to have a new single this year, probably about a month and a half from now. Okay. And then the new CD probably around Valentine's Day. So I'm looking forward to, coming out with another CD. This will be my number 7 CD. A lot of guys haven't made it that far. I'm just blessed, and I'm happy that I'm still doing my thing. And hopefully, when I go out, when I come in the city or wherever it is, that people hear, if people are hearing this, when I come in the city, you come out and support. Because it's not a lot of guys out right now that's been there since me. It's very few. But I should say, as far as young ladies, still have Mary J. people like that. But it's not that many that's still in the game, that's still relevant, doing what they do.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And I was also reading that you have a charity project in the works as well.
That was something that I've always been passionate about, and that's helping the mentally disabled and just helping people. Period. It's always been in my heart to just help. And to whom much is given, much is required. And I just think I've been blessed beyond. Wow, I just been really blessed. I just feel like if I'm going to help somebody, let me help somebody that can't help themselves, and the mentally disabled are the ones that I've started really focusing on. So my charity is sprucekc.com. You can go on there and see what we're doing, and know that it's a true charity. It's not, I don't get no money at all, and it goes strictly towards helping them, aiding them in having a better life as they know it. A lot of mentally disabled individuals, they don't get money to do certain things, and we want to make their life as comfortable as possible. Take them bowling, take them to a baseball game, take them to a football game, take them to a basketball game. I had a concert that came to I had all of my consumers that we call them there, and that was a great thing for them to be at. And it just made me feel good, because a lot of people don't care, and I'm just one who do. So if you go to Spruce, SPRUCEKC.com, you can check out, you can check it out, you can donate, you can read all about it.
Cool, and we'll be sure to put a link up for that on the blog as well, so people can find that. Cool. So Ginuwine, I'm not going to keep you much longer, man. I really appreciate you taking the time out. I know it's late, but man, thanks so much.
I appreciate it, man. Like I said, anytime you want to talk or whatever, just let me know, man. I'm always on Twitter. Just keep following. I'm following you, so it's all good.
Cool, man. Thanks so much, Ginuwine. The best of luck to you.
No doubt, brother.
All right. Take care. Bye.